Hello and welcome to the Windows 10 crash course. In this video, we're going to be talking about cleaning up your Windows 10 install. So if you've updated from Windows 8, or I should say upgraded from Windows 8 or 7, and Windows 10 took up some space as far as hard drive when you were installing and getting all the new operating system files, or you just have a clean install of Windows 10 and you've been using it for a bit, how do you maintain that hard drive space? How do you make sure that everything is running efficient and you get rid of the unneeded or unnecessary and temporary files? So with that, we're going to go into the Windows 10 desktop and show you how to do that. So what does clearing up space on your Windows 10 install actually do? Well, it helps with keeping your machine running efficient. Of course, after time, your machine will accrue temporary files across the board from all sorts of software and even just the operating system in itself. So this just helps you save that extra space and allow you to also just have free space to download more apps of your choosing. So the most efficient way, of course, to do this is uninstalling the apps that you don't need first and foremost. That's one of the obvious things. We talked all about uninstalling apps in Windows 10. One of the easiest, of course, if you see something that you don't like within Windows 10, you can easily right-click it and then uninstall it. So getting rid of all of those apps. As far as third-party apps to make it easier, we also talked about heading into Control Panel and then, of course, going into the uninstall program section where you can go ahead and uninstall third-party apps that you may have, and you can sort those out by size. Windows also has a built-in modern menu that does this as well. So you go into your settings, and then you're ready to go into your system, and then you will click on storage, and then you can go ahead and sort out your apps here. If you click on here, you'll see all the apps that have taking up the most storage here. So you can see system and reserved, apps and games. I can click on that and I can start sorting them out by size here. And then automatically I can choose to uninstall some of these things that are taking up a lot of space here. So again, that's a great way to get rid of default apps, get rid of third-party apps that just may be taking up a lot of space on your hard drive. But an even better utility than that is that of disk cleanup. This is worth running every now and again, especially if you've been running Windows 10 for quite a bit. Run the disk cleanup utility. This will calculate how much space you're going to be able to free, and we're going to talk a little bit about what it clears up here. So we're going to go ahead and let this scan. The more files you have on your actual Windows hard drive, the more the scan is going to take as far as time. Keeping in mind, of course, if you're upgrading from like 7 or 8 and you're transferring your files over, it's going to scan those as well. If you're doing a clean install, this will probably go a little bit more quicker and there won't be as much things to clean up here. As you can see, my install is done, and like I said, this is a clean install of Windows 10, so there's not too much here, but I want to go over a couple of these things here. So first and foremost, you can check which files you want to delete, set up log files, downloaded program files, keeping in mind that all of these files here that you can delete, they're all safe to delete. You don't need to worry so much as far as this isn't anything that's going to affect the system or directly cause it any major errors here. They're just temporary files, offline web pages, system archives, recycling bin files, of course, retail demo offline content, temp files as well. So you can check all of these, and then of course you can hit the OK button, but also there's another option here to clean up system files. So you can also clean up system files. This is really useful as well because this will look for a couple things. This will look for backup files. This can also look for, if you set up system restore points, you have the option to look into those, cleaning up Windows updates, temporary files. So when you do Windows updates, it tends to cache certain updates to make it faster in the future. This will allow you to also tweak some of those. So you'll be able to see all of those as well. So you can go ahead and check all of these, like I said, like you would normally here, and you can see how much space you're saving overall. So you can see total amount of disk space gained, 265 megabytes, and you can click on more options now that's done the system scan, and then now I have the ability to go ahead and clean up system restore and shadow copies like I mentioned. So you can see here I can free up more space by removing all but the most recent restore points. So if you have constant restore points, those can take up gigabytes of files. So you can go ahead and clean those up as well. And again, this is just something that's worth doing every now and again, especially after a couple months of usage. Hit OK, and then you give it the confirmation to delete the files, and then let it do its thing here. So it'll delete old drivers, it'll delete temporary files, everything that is essentially safe for it to delete. And again, this takes advantage of, in the sense that it does everything for you. You don't have to manually go searching for these files. You don't have to go into temp folders. You don't have to go cleaning up browser history or so on and so forth. This is just a great way to keep your machine running optimally, keeping your hard drive free of space, whether it's uninstalling third-party apps, default apps, or of course cleaning up system files. This is really, really helpful in making sure that your Windows 10 install, whether you are updating from a previous version of Windows, is as clean as possible. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out the next video in the Windows 10 crash course to wrap it all up. And of course, check out the previous videos if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next one.